everybody, this is Peggy for cropstop.com, and today I want to show you some really awesome fall things that you can do. We're getting into that time of year, you know, when it's a little bit cold. This is one of the cards that I made here, and I just want to real quick show you these. Here's another one. I'm using the same stamp and the same die cut, and look how different these cards are. Let me show you some of the things that I use to make these cards. First of all, I want to show you the stamps by Heartfelt Creations. This is the leaf background. What's really cool about Heartfelt Creations is that they also have die cuts that you can use that cut out these leaves perfectly. So you stamp it and cut it out, and it tells you right on here that this will match the falling leaves die cut set. We have those at Cropstop, so make sure to check those out. They are awesome. So we'll be using that stamp. Then we're going to use one of these, Tim Holtz Alteration Die Cuts. That's from Sizzix. This is going to be used in the Cuttlebug, so I'll show you how you can use your big jumbo dies in your Cuttlebug. Then let's see, I'm going to use 3 different distress inks. You know I love distress inks. We're going to be using the Bundled Sage, the Wild Honey, my all-time favorite right now, and Barn Red. Well, I guess they call it Barn Door, but I call it Barn Red. So we're going to use those. And let's see, let me reach across, sorry about that. We are going to use the Distress Stickles. Now, these are a little bit different than your regular stickles. These you can heat set with your heat gun, and when you do that, all the little mica chips that are in there really pop out. Do not, let me repeat, do not use your heat tool with the regular stickles or the original stickles. It will not work, it will burn, so do not do that. Only with your Distress Stickles. Well, oh, and of course I'll be using my Cuttlebug. Let's get busy and show you how to make these awesome cards. Now the first little technique I want to show you is direct from the ink pad to your stamp. A lot of folks do this. The trick is, I'm going to drop my card. The trick is to use the lightest color first. Now I'm just going to kind of stamp wherever with the lightest color, which is my honey. Then I'm going to go to your, I think I'll do the green. A little bit of green here and there. And then we're going to come back in with that barn color. And I really can't tell, and I'll show you close up. On my stamp, I can't tell where on earth that ink is, but I know that it's wet because it looks pretty wet. Actually, I think I see one dry spot. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But anyway, there you are. We did that. I don't worry too much about mixing my inks because I started with the light color. I put it on my handy dandy little acrylic plate, press down all over. These rubber stamps, it's the red rubber from Heartfelt. I'm telling you, it's my all-time favorite. There are acrylics out there I like, but these are just awesome. Well, I missed a little spot, but that's all right. So there is my background. So that gives me nice fall colors, which is what I used on these 2 cards here. Let me bring these back in. And then I embellished them with a Martha Stewart punch, add a little bit of fibers to it. Actually, that's jute and a stamp. And here, let me show you what I did with this one. This is actually my favorite. So let's do that one real quick. Let me pull some paper over here and we'll do it. I'll be right back. Now this one I did a little bit different. I'm going to take the applicator and I'm going to again start with my light color. Now the trick to doing this, which I've shared before, is to start off the card. Let me just show you on the back. If I come right on here, see, I'm going to get these lines. Let me bring that up where you can see. See those ugly little lines? Now you are going to get a few of those in your card, but it's much nicer if you come off the edge. So let me show you what I mean by that. Ink up my little sponge, and I'm going to come off the edge and just go across. Well, I did get a few little lines there, but we'll get those worked out. So they're not as harsh. Do you see how harsh these lines are? And these are more blended. And the more blending I do, the better will be. The other thing I want to tell you, make sure you put the lid on there because these are inks that dry really quick. And if you leave the lid off and just go away, and it'll come back and it'll be dried up on you. Yeah, that turned out much nicer. I didn't get as bad a line there. So it's kind of hard to talk and do this at the same time, I guess, Steve. I'm just adding some nice green to that. Let me switch out my little foam applicator. Put my next one on. It's really nice if you have a lot of these handles. That's my goal, is to collect a lot of these little applicator handles so that every color that I have has its own little sponge and I don't have to change. But I haven't gotten there yet, but maybe one day. Maybe Santa will bring me some more. And again, off and then on. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Love that barn red. I'm going to rub a little bit of the red over that orange a little bit color. All right, so Now, of course, you could come back in if you wanted to add a little bit of green down here to give it a little more contrast. It doesn't really turn green, but it gives you more fall looking. There. I think I like that a little bit better. And again, cover that up. Now, let me bring in, move that over to the side. I'm going to bring in my stamp again. And this time, I'm going to use the Memento Rich Cocoa. This one and the Tuxedo Black are my all-time favorites. You can use those for everything, it seems, if you can get it open. And then I'm just going to stamp real good. This time I'm going to make sure I don't miss any spots. And I'll be able to tell because it's brown, so we won't miss any. So stamp it up there real nice and juicy. The other thing I'll tell you is try to always, when you buy an ink pad, try to always get the re-inkers, because you just hate when you're in the middle of a project and all of a sudden your ink pad's dry and you just need it. And again, I'm going to just line that up over top and press down. Oh shoot, I missed my paper a little bit, but I'm going to be trimming it off anyway. It's hard to do this sitting down. I'm used to standing up. Oh my gosh, this is just too awesome. Would you look at that? Is that like the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen? It reminds me of taking those motorcycle rides out and looking at all the beautiful leaves, which we're not going to get this year because the weather's bad. Now, let me show you what we're going to do next. I'll be right back. Let me show you how to use these big dies in your Cuttlebug. Normally, you see, we would use always your A and 2 B's, but on this particular one, you're going to get rid of your A because that just about takes the place of that. I always put one acrylic on the bottom. It just seems to slide better. And then I just take my cardstock and lay it on there. Now, I have a couple of different ones that I'm using, and I don't get too excited about laying them over top of each other. So let me just do that so I can get 2 leaves at one time so I don't run out of battery here. And then you just simply roll it through your Cuttlebug. See how nice that goes through? Now let me move her out of the way. And there's one. Now there are 3 leaves on here, but obviously I only got 2 there. So there are my 2 leaves. Aren't those awesome? Let's see if I can show you better behind there. There they are. They cut. I mean, these die cuts just zip, zap, and cut. Now let me real quick show you. What I would normally do is to rough these up a little bit, but I wanted to show you how this Distress Stickles works. So let me just put some on here. And I'm a finger kind of tool girl. I use my fingers a lot. And I don't get too excitable about using my fingers. Some folks don't like this stuff on their fingers, and, well, I don't care. Alright, so I just do it this way. It's a Peggy way. And, of course, I never waste anything, so we'll put it on there and use that. And then I'll bring in my heat tool here, if I can reach that far. And let me just show you what happens when you do this. It makes them look real. Let me dry this and I'll be right back. Okay, I dried that. Now I'm not sure if the camera will be able to pick it up. First of all, if I lay it down, you can see how it kind of gave it that natural little leaf shape, kind of curled up like fall leaves do. And I don't know how close the camera can get, but all those little mica chips that are in the distressed ink, they kind of, it's hard to explain, but they kind of melt together and just flicker. It is just awesome. So that's why I really, really like that. Now again, here's my card front that I did before. All I'd have to do is to put that on there, add some fiber, add a sentiment, and voila, that is going to make an awesome card. Now, I got to tell you, I'm loving these colors a lot better than these colors, but there you go, there's a different look. Notice the leaves there. I just took an old book that had the cover ripped off of it, did my leaves out of that, inked it up, and there you go. And they kind of look real too because they kind of curl up. Well, I think that's everything I can show you for today. So don't forget to check cropstop.com. Check out the Heartfelt Creations and the Tim Holtz Tattered Leaves dies. Well, they've got a lot of those dies, so check them out. All right, you all have a great day. Bye.